each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk Today.
What is on your mind, Cayman? If you are ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome. Thanks very much for joining us. And despite the calendar says we have scheduled guests, I look in the room and I want to see myself. Well, 88 might be here. He brings a warm, winning spirit. For those who don't know, ask your friend, he might tell you. 949-837, 949-6990. Want you to be a part of a discussion. It's going to be open line, so stay tuned for Talk Today.
Avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Email Talk Today at candw.ky. Let your voice be heard.
And now, back to Sterling Dwayne Ebanks. Radio Cayman Talk Today.
Hey, welcome. Thanks for joining us. We want to hear from you. We want to engage. We want to be informed. Sometimes it'll be good to be motivated, but I say more importantly, you have to be disciplined. 949-837, 949-6990. You can WhatsApp call if you choose, but you got to call using their WhatsApp. Whatever that's an app that you use, what's about, I don't know. But that's 925-3261. If you call it as a regular cell call with the greatest respect, it'll just ring. We can't answer it to put you on air. So 925-3261 is your WhatsApp call. Let's take this next call though. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Mr. Sterling, good day.
And to you, Mr. Brown. How are you today?
How are you, sir?
I am absolutely fantastic. And I tell you what, I got health and strength. I got a sense of purpose. I'm prayerful. I'm positive. I'm surrounded by people who mean me well. And at the end of the day, they've understood when I say, lead me not into temptation, because I can find it myself. What I need from you as a friend is to keep me, on the right path. Guide me when I go astray. Correct me, when I am a sort of delayed. Guide me. Because together, we can make good things happen, right?
Oh, you better believe that.
Yeah, man. So what about you?
I really enjoyed, the different cultures.
Uh-huh.
People from quite a few...
Everywhere. Right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
They taught me a lot about their countries and their cultures and stuff like that.
And you can do that while you're here, and you don't have to leave the shores, huh?
Right.
Yeah, man.
It's really a great thing that living here in Cayman, you can meet so many different foreign people, and they teach you their languages and way of life and stuff like that. It's really good.
Yeah,
you
man.
know.
I'm glad that you not just recognize that, but remind us publicly. And it kind of, to me, probably what our seafarers, experience. They traveled the globe. They were on ships with people from different parts of the world, and they shared a sort of a common interest in the sea. They certainly their own safety and security was interdependent. So if I'm listening to you and hearing you and understanding, in the Cayman context, we're kind of, surrounded by the sea. So like a ship, we're in an island. What we do in a country affects all of us, from the littering, about the place. If we do that, the place is nasty and potentially, breeding ground for diseases. But if we work together and it's safe and sensible and people are civil, and then we go about, we can enjoy a better life, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. So why don't we do that? Well, why are we
Right.
fighting each other?
Well, I don't know about the other people, but I have a great time with a lot of foreign people from all over the world.
Yeah, man.
And it's good when you can enjoy yourself with these people and live like a brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's a great thing to know that you can just meet them and just have a wonderful time and enjoy yourself with them and live like a family.
You're learning from one another. You respect each other's differences. You come to appreciate that you're more alike. You share in each other's foods. I'll share with you, man. It makes it a beautiful place, right?
Oh man, I tell you, man, you're right. Yeah.
Well,
I just wanted to say that,
Thank you.
Thank you. It's good, man.
Thank you. Well, you listen. You shout whenever you want. You just make sure that you take good care of yourself, and as you move about the space, you remember, end of the day, if you buck your toe, you're the one gonna feel it. But if you can reach out, help a hand to somebody else, that person might just be better off. So keep doing the good things you do. All right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. All the best to you, my friend.
Okay.
All right. And as I listen to him, I hope you hear his heart and recognize that he says we're living in this space. It doesn't mean that every day is as perfect as you want it to be, but hey, do you have purpose? As you go about the day, are you recognizing, yes, it's a bit of a challenge, your bills are probably more than your income. You may feel the weight of the world in your shoulders, but is there somebody who has your back? And if not, why is that? Is it you? Is it your, prickliness? Is it your unwillingness to ask for help or accept the help that's offered? But sometimes some of us are alone in many ways without even realizing to the extent that we are alone. But some of us have more support than we're willing to acknowledge. Take the gentleman's positive outlook and ask yourself, are you bringing something that is constructive and productive to the table, or are you taking? Now, I know this, and I pray that it actually offends people to the point where they do something about it. Some of us, as I heard a pastor say one time, and then I heard it repeated by others, are so heavenly bound that we're no earthly good. Now, that may be offensive, but if you think about it, what are we doing in this time here and now? Some of us believe our money, our status, our name, or whatever it is that we think we are, can buy eternity, can buy a way, and probably has. Then there are some of us that are so humble and so giving that they do so much and nobody sees it because they seek no fame, fortune, or fanfare. People believe that money can buy class. It can't. I don't care how much you got. Look around at some people. A word that I think should be, taught in every school is don't be a furrow. Like Mr. Henry, he might say, Henry Bush that is, he might say, we don't know how to spell it, we just eat it. but there are colloquial expressions, there are things in our vernacular that perhaps have been allowed to just go by the wayside because we were told to say it and say it publicly shows that you lack intelligence. Well, no. Disrespecting and discarding who you are, that's where the lack of respect and intelligence comes in. We'll pause. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, right, we want to share a few things. Trying to structure it in such a way. Maybe I'll just read what was said initially. Not going to speak to it as to whether there's any truth in what is being suggested, but speak to it from what has been said in the context of what was printed. And then ask ourselves, well, how do we respond? What do we do? What does it mean if we do or if we don't? And in so doing, do we have the courage to stand in the gap, to draw alongside each other and support one another, to question the things that are happening and do something in a positive way about it? There are callers yesterday who were asking about the banks. Does the monetary authority have the authority to regulate the banks? As one caller says, well, yeah, that's how it used to be. And if it is, what has changed, if anything? Is it just a practice, or is it a recognition that there was no legislation? Can the banks do as people say they seem to do, decide whether or not you can be a customer? What are the requirements of you being a customer? The documentation may extend to not just your blood sample, but your firstborn. Now, sometimes, like many things, the banks and others get a improper and unjustified rap, as they say. But is it? And then if things happen that makes it difficult for a consumer, a client at the bank in this instance, to get the banking services that they're seeking, why is that? Is it the person, or is it the policies and the procedures? Are they being misinterpreted and misapplied? Again, without questions and without strong, advocacy relative to what is happening or not happening, things just transpire. Often we've heard people say, well, it's easier to ask forgiveness than permission. Interesting, huh? All right, we're going to share something when we come back. We're going to invite you to challenge what is being said. Champion that thing you believe is important, and ask yourselves, is the democracy, at risk? Is it going to be better because of your participation? Are your actions and inactions contributing to the democracy being under threat? 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp call 925-3261. Join us right after this break.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet. Because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Discover your dream home with Cayman National's home loan. Get up to 95% financing, repayment up to 40 years, and just a 0.5% commitment fee. Your interest rate? Depending on your risk factors, it'll be fixed or variable. Plus, you get a pre-approved credit card. This is a limited time offer. Dial 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
Flow presents Flow Mania, the first ever all-in-one bundle for mobile and fixed internet.
Wow, finally.
With an absurd 1 gig broadband connection at home. For real, that fast? Insanely fast 5G for the first time ever. Are you serious? And an incredible service to keep you going. Wi-Fi backup included. What? Woohoo! Go all in. Go full mania with Flow Mania. Calculate your savings when you sign up at discoverflow.com or in store.
Thinking about what to do on this hot summer day for little or no cost to you? Head over to the new Shoreline iMap to find the closest public shoreline access point. Then grab your sunscreen and head to the shore. Use the new Shoreline iMap today at gov.ky/shoreline. Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. It is open line 949-8037, 949-6990, or you can WhatsApp call 925-32621. Want to hear from you. Want you to share your thoughts with us. Something I'm sure, if I saw it, that means, just what everybody else has. And I'll read it as it's sent and then invite you to speak to it and ask, well, why is it that way and how we can. It's not deliberateness on my part to pick it apart as it is, but it's about recognizing sometimes the language we use. Is it inflammatory or informative? Is it set to get people to, dig deeper and understand the undercurrents? Or is it, something with an ulterior motive? All right. This was in relation to, someone sent this around and it was forwarded around almost everywhere to everyone. And it says, in the Caymans, the residents are planning this protest against the electrical bill increase. All right. Let's read it and see if it makes sense to you and see if our critique makes sense to you as well. Some of us, I looked at it a little bit more cursory than others, and some wondered who drafted it, who's behind it, is it legit, is it something that should happen? And I'll pick up a couple of words and then you tell us what you think, right? Again, not being read as a press release, not being read as anything other than what is shared here, and the importance of the choice of words. Says in a move that has sparked widespread outrage, residents of the Cayman Islands. All right, let's take this call. Let's give a call to this first because this would be a good exercise in and of itself. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Sterling.
Hey, how are you?
I am good. I hear you exercising your rights by giving the people the first chance to answer the phone first, so that's good.
Well, it has. Thank you for acknowledging that. It's always been our endeavor, and I must share, I don't think this is improper to say, but there are times on our side of the table, we don't see the phones ringing, we don't hear them, there's nothing indicating that there's a call. And there are people who say, hey, I've been trying to call. We believe those people, just like I trust that they will believe that we're being forthcoming when we said they're not ringing on our side. We don't know why that is, right?
Yeah. I you know what? It just happened to me too, because my wife was calling saying she calling me, but I tell her, I say, no, nothing not coming on the phone. So it must be something with the connections of the telephone company, because it happening on my side too. So, but when I hear you say you'll answer the phone before you go into what you had to read, that's a good thing, because
thank you.
You're there for the people.
Well, that's what it should be for. But thank you for recognizing that. And if it's one thing to be in a position where you share a sentiment. You do that to inform people. You do that with the intent to maybe encourage people to comment. But I think it's more important to listen and to provide the opportunity for people to share. And hopefully in so doing, if there's any exchange in a discussion, that people won't take it as being confrontational. Even when I ask, what do you think about that? Why do you say that? What about this? It's just to elicit, greater dialogue.
That's right. And that's one of the reasons I call your show first, because I know my dear friend Miss Jan. I know she got someone get to you, but I can't. I think I beat her first.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Today, hey, today you did.
She right behind me. Don't need to worry about that. I know she right there. She come in.
There you go.
But I that's the same thing I just want to speak about is putting the people first.
Yeah.
For the listening public that is listening this afternoon, that is what I want to mention regarding our members of Parliament putting the people of Cayman first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of hearing them saying that they're there for the people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nothing but a bunch of lies. And why I call it a bunch of lies, I'm not going to take back nothing I say, because I didn't call nobody by name. I said them, all of them. Because what I am saying is this. When we are in a crisis of natural disasters such as a hurricane, that is not of man, it's of God. We cannot do nothing about that. That is controlled by God. But what is controlled by us is when we take the time for our people and go around and visit our people and find out their conditions, especially our elderly. And I want to bring one island to mind this afternoon, and I hope you remember Parliament in Grand Cayman is listening to what I'm saying and taking note, because this has to stop. We have a little island called Little Cayman, and it's the most forgetful place on this planet. And I don't care which one I'm coming on this radio and talking about this little pretty place, Little Cayman. They love it in this little, whatever they want to describe it. They might love it, but they don't love the people. Why I say that? We just had a hurricane cross. Not one government official has called the people of Little Cayman and asked them their conditions of their living, their situations, nothing.
So you say Little Cayman has been forgotten?
Forgotten.
Okay.
Forgotten. All I am hearing on radios is a bunch of gibberish, like what my father talk about, chop, not cook, not hucks, and finding nothing inside the middle. That is all I am hearing on the radio regarding what went through with Beryl during the time. Listen, when our officials or politicians have time to sit down and scoop up ideas about sending millions of dollars overseas to the eastern islands that got damaged, and still they take the time and remember their own people and put money towards their own people first. Why are they investing in other people that has no regards to the Cayman Islands? And they are putting all the emphasis into these other islands that the Cayman Islands are not receiving. It is a downright disgrace to know that we have seniors living on these islands, these two little islands here, Cayman Brack and Little Cayman, and you hear about their constituents. They remember their constituents. It's a bunch of lies, because they remembers nobody.
Right.
Because I am telling you what people telling me of elderly people, and it's a downright shame and disgrace to know that the people of Little Cayman, they have not took the time to take a flight into Little Cayman and go around and ask the senior people what happened during Beryl. Did they receive any damage? Did they receive any shocking encounters with how in fear or they need to be in an environment where they have people around them in order to comfort them? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. And it is to me, it's a crying shame, because when I got to listen to these people that claim and what they claim they are, and the people are saying something different, it paints a whole new picture in my eyes, in my vision of what people are, and they are nothing but a bunch of people just walking around, manipulating the people's mind and putting them under a hypnotism kind of act to believe all the foolishness.
So let me ask you then,
that they're telling the people.
From your either personal observations, direct feedback, relative to Little Cayman first, right? What are you seeing? What are you hearing has been the experience? One, any sort of damage from buildings to trees, let's start with that first. I mean, any sort of impact on the physical space, the trees, the buildings. What's your feedback? What's your observation?
When I was there, I was asked to be removed from the island immediately. My time there was cut short while I was there that week with the storm.
When you say you were asked to be removed.
No. What I'm saying is they asked us to fly out earlier than our evening flight.
This is the government officially.
Evacuation. That's common. That's standard procedures.
Okay.
You have to evacuate. They have to evacuate the tourists.
Yeah.
To get them to Grand Cayman for them to connect the flights to go back to the States or wherever. That's not mandatory.
Okay, so mandatory. So if you, as a person who wants to stay there, you can.
Yeah. If you want to stay, that will be up to you.
Okay.
The government, you will be under your own risk of remaining. So, I had to be flown out, so I couldn't stay there to be along with the people that down there to say, go around and check to see if everybody okay. Well, I mean, being a former firefighter, I would have been more than delighted to be down there and help out the DC or the firefighters or whoever, the police or whoever. I would have been more than willing to assist in that. But I was asked to leave. I planned on going back now in the next couple of days, but I'm not saying that Little Cayman receiving a damage. I'm not saying that because I don't know.
Right. Okay.
I know Cayman Brac didn't receive no damage, so I'm thinking that Little Cayman probably didn't neither. Maybe a little run over water here or there, but I'm not saying no pilot damage. I doubt it. Really doubt it. But what I'm saying is the concern of the people and the concern of the members of government should be on their minds of the people of these three islands, not to sit down and give a bulletin through the news media about what they think, about what they see, and what they say they got to do and what they're not going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about going around on these three islands and find out what happened and what the people need in return for another time for something to come down again.
Right.
Because it's not going to be all the time that we exempt. Listen to what I'm telling you, Sterling. We cannot be exempt at all times from a hurricane. We eventually will get something. Little Cayman needs proper supervision when it comes to these kind of things because it's a smaller island. It doesn't have the amount of bluff that Cayman Brac has. So if the case comes, yes, people have to evacuate and come over to the Brac. But those that remain there, they should have some member of government visiting the island whenever the clearance come in and they have clearance to go to Little Cayman. Should have people go in there and find out how and the conditions of the people. And that's what I'm trying to say.
And
they don't get it. They don't get it.
All right. So to your knowledge, that has not happened. Whether the senior government officials, nor the politicians.
Not one government official.
Okay. Now, what about the people?
Have visited the seniors there to find out how the conditions they are.
Okay.
Not one.
All right. So I'm glad to hear there's no damage to property or no trees or for the people now, and more specifically, what is your feedback? What did you observe directly in terms of the impact on people? As you said, you don't check on them to make sure they're okay. What are you getting from people in terms of how they're feeling physically, mentally, those things? On Little Cayman.
This is what I am saying.
Mm-hmm.
I am just a normal person with an ear that listens attentively, but I have a mind to speak what I say, and I don't take it back from no human being what comes out of my mouth. Once I do not infringe on anyone and insult anyone, I don't take back nothing I have to say. I speak from my mind, and I speak the truth, and I want people. I don't make up things that I hear other people say on the radio and twist it how I want to make myself sound important. I speak about people concerned in the way that people are living. I know people here in Kimmonbrook that are still living out of their conditions from Paloma. Take it from me. Listen, Sterling, remember in Grand Cayman, some of the homes you could see in for a possibility. Only the last couple of years, their roof have been fixed.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the ice and water shield been on their roof for years. The people of Grand Cayman, I've seen it flying in the time years after Ivan, and people now had nothing on their roof but ice and water shield. Kimmonbrook here, people are still leaking roofs from Ivan. I mean from Paloma.
And for those who don't know, remind us.
If we do not have the people with the mindset, because when I hear them get in these meetings, and it's on national television, and you hear them talking about their constituents, they worried about their constituents, but yet people got water dripping in on them when it rains. Come on, man! No.
Right.
It's a time to play Sterling favorite thing. That's what my father taught me.
Exactly. When was Paloma? For those who don't know.
What was what?
When did Paloma pass? What year was
Paloma, that was 2008.
And this is 2024.
Exactly.
So 4 years after Ivan, the BRAC was affected by Paloma.
Yeah.
And you're saying to this day, people still have that?
Not infected, not impacted, devastated by Paloma.
Okay.
It was hardly anything. I mean, people suffered, and people today are struggling still for that. And I'm not talking about young people, you master. I'm talking about the senior citizens. The senior citizens is who I'm talking about. Because our members of parliament that talks about the constituents of Kimmonbrook, they have no regards for the people of Kimmonbrook. I'm not asking anyone, and if they even hear what I'm saying, and they see me Sunday in church and tell me they don't like me, you know what? I will be the one stand before God Almighty. I don't know who they got stand before, but I will tell them one thing, that if they don't realize that the people of Kimmonbrook and the people of Little Cayman are still human beings, they got another thing coming to them. Because they can drive around in their fancy Mercedes and spend their hundreds of dollars giving out to people, manipulating people's mind and trying to convince people that they got to do the whole and all election to vote for them. And when Kimmonbrookers turn around, they don't know where to be found. They gone back Georgetown, hide themselves up under a mango tree or breadfruit tree, and they don't care about Kimmonbrookers or Little Caymanian. Let me tell you something. We need people around here that are stand up for Kimmonbrook, and we don't need no pile of old fake people. We had them for the last 30 years, and the time for change, Sterling. And how I am speaking this morning, I am upset, yes, because when it got come to senior citizens, that digs to the deepest part of my heart, because I remember my mother, Joan Paloma, when she was trapped in her house. We had to take a bulldozer, go get her out of that house, ripped to pieces with glass and bleeding all over. That was something that I will never forget. And the senior people of these islands are still struggling from Paloma, and the government can't help our senior citizens, and yet when they come around to the fireworks and their big old parades and these kind of things, you hear about their constituents and Kimmonbrook and this. Now listen, Sterling, listen to me. And I want whoever listening, listen to me carefully. They got some group of elderlies that stay in one corner, Kimmonbrook called Spot Bay, what we call Boo Point. It's not no Booba Point. What we call Boo Point. And the constituents, they don't worry. The MPs don't worry about that little corner called Spot Bay. Them seniors sit down up in their house, Sterling. They don't even take the initiative to go and find out if they want to come out their home and go to do the see things or anything else and talk about they for the people of Kimmonbrook and Little Cayman. Let me tell you something, Sterling, between me and you and the listening public, it is nothing but a bunch of hypocritical lies to try to get themselves a vote back in the parliament. But I hope the people of the Cayman Islands this afternoon is listening to what I got to say, because I got to tell you, if I step foot out there to vote, out there to run for election, the people got to know exactly what the people that are there doing, and I ain't going to hold back absolutely nothing, because I am tired of how they treat our children, our young people, our elderly. I am tired of how the members of parliament are treating Kim and Black people and Lil Cayman. And they can say what they want, but they're not being forgotten. And I challenge any one of them to come on this radio, try correct me, or call my personal phone 927-6677, and I will put them in their place to make them know that you do not lie to Albert. James Christian, you do not lie to. You lie to your children, but you don't lie to me, because what I see you doing and what I hear you are doing, absolutely nothing for Caymanians, especially for on our own bank account and on our own pocket. That is how it goes, Sterling. And I'm not holding nothing back from nothing, and I don't apologize for saying nothing right now this afternoon, because I am tired of it, and I am fed up of it, because we have run our race. We got a new generation coming behind us. And what a future for them are. How they treating us today, they got to treat them. How they treated the seniors, they got to treat them. No, man, it's high time that the people of Cayman Brac, Grand Cayman and Lil Cayman, open their eyes and realize money can't buy you what you need to put in your family's mouth. The money can't buy it, because they got tried to bring the little $100 to put in your hand. They can't bring it every month to give you. Stop taking it from them. Run them out the yard.
Let me read to you. This is from one of our listeners. I read you what was sent. It says, Amen and amen. Mr. Christian, you are so right. I am 71 years old, and no one ever tried to batten up where I live. It's a shame to see what old people have to go through.
I am telling you.
Yeah. So this is...
I am telling you. Listen. When I watch the Miami news, let me back up a little bit. When I watch the news in Houston, when barrels were bearing down on Texas, Houston area, there were millions of people coming together. Hundreds of thousands of people coming together, helping one another, especially the elderly. They were taking care of them first, Sterling. They took care of them first. And then they were helping everybody else. Our members, when disaster coming upon us, we don't even hear from them. We don't see them. We don't get nothing from them. How you can hear about it again? That's one piece of plywood. Listen here. By the time they put that plywood up on somebody's window, turn my seat, get in the way. So I don't know what they're bragging about, one sheet of plywood, because one sheet of plywood can't feed us. It can't do nothing for us. It can only take care of one little period at a time. And after that, if we don't take care of that, the sun warp it up and it been up, we can't use it. And that's what they're bragging about. They give us one sheet of plywood. No, man, no. This thing, listen. My mother used to say one thing, when people don't take the veil off their face, that people can reveal who they are, to see who they are.
Yeah.
You will never know who is the wolf in the sheep clothing. You understand, Sterling? We are living in times of deception. And the people of the Cayman Islands need to listen and understand we are living in times of deception. The people are deceiving. The people, because they are old, can't be, they easily bought out. The young children, the young people don't know better because they don't know what politics is all about. The middle-aged people, they can sway here and there, and they can go in a direction, and that's what they're trying to do. People that are serious about taking care of the island, they need to realize these are the kind of people we need. We don't need them all hypocritical people up inside, they worrying about their bank account and driving around fancy Mercedes Benz and all this kind of foolishness. We don't need them kind of people taking care of people. We need people taking care of people that care. That's what it's all about. That's what we're all about from time Captain Mabry and them kind of people was up in there, but taking care of the people. No, we got nothing but old monosuckers up inside there, just grabbing all they can.
But as I listen to you...
You know what, Sterling?
Go ahead.
This whole show. I wish I was sitting next to you right up in that place this afternoon. And this whole show would have been about me and you this afternoon. And those that walk all in. That's what I wish I was sitting right next to you.
All right, well, you know what? If you ever find yourself on this side, you let me know, man, and we would be honored to have you.
I come in.
You coming? Christmas coming too now, so we'll make it too long.
No. No. I don't plan like that. I don't plan far ahead. I let God do that.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you.
God spares my life. I got knock on your door and walk inside there one afternoon.
Yeah.
But seriously, we need the people to stop lying to us. We don't need that no more. So all of them that are listening out there, I know they're listening. So they can fix the necktie that they're choking on right now, and they can put their old people talk about put their frock between their legs and push out their mouth. They can do what they want. But I am telling them, James Christian, don't accept their lies, don't accept their foolishness, and I not easily bought out.
Yeah, man.
Money can't buy James Christian. So tell them to hold with their position where they are, stay there. We can take care of our people, and we got to make sure that happens.
All right.
Anyway, Bo, I thank you, Peter.
Thank you for sharing, and you know what? We can talk to you soon. Look out for that call, all right? I apologize for not being able to do so. But thank you for sharing. With that, let's go to the news. Let the gentleman's words encourage you, inspire you. Maybe you may want to respond in a complimentary way. You may want to challenge what he says. Hey, the phone lines are yours. Join us after.
Find your dream car with a Cayman National Vehicle Loan. Enjoy 100% financing, up to 8-year repayment, and a 7% fixed interest rate for the first 5 years. For eco-friendly cars, we'll waive your commitment fee. This only applies to new vehicles. Call 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
It's game time, Subway fans. We're upping our sub game with the Subway Series menu, an all-star lineup of 6 delicious recipes. Just order by name or number and we'll do the rest. Whether you're catching a quick lunch or just need a tasty victory, the Subway Series menu is coming in clutch. Subway Series, easy to order, hard to resist. Try it today, only at Subway. Eat fresh.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Prescription refills made easy at Savannah Pharmacy. WhatsApp your prescription refills to 929-5045.
This is Sherry Ebanks, and I work in the financial services sector. I am concerned about how climate change is affecting our beautiful beaches. Sea level rise and changing wind patterns are worsening the erosion of our beaches, and warmer temperatures are causing more sargassum to reach our shores. When our beaches are degraded, our tourism sector and the livelihoods of Caymanians are put in jeopardy. To learn more about the climate risks to our islands, visit www.gov.ky/climate change policy.
Yesterday,
Today,
always and forever.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With your latest headlines, I'm Felicia Rankin-Zollins. Customs and Border Control Service advises the public that effective Thursday, August 1st of 2024, the CBC Cargo Processing Office at 42 Owen Roberts Drive will be closed to the public on Saturdays. This office closure will not impact the CBC Warehouse Transit Shed that will remain open to the public for the receiving of cargo and cargo inspections from 8:30 a.m. till 12 p.m. on Saturdays. In international news, at least 8 people have died after Hurricane Beryl slammed into southeast Texas and Louisiana, knocking out power for nearly 3 million people. Beryl hit the southern United States on Monday morning as a Category 1 hurricane, but it has since been downgraded to a tropical depression. Officials warned of destructive winds up to 15 inches of rain and life-threatening storm surges. More than 1,100 flights were canceled at Houston's main airport on Monday, according to FlightAware.com. Some 2.3 million customers in Texas were without power as of Tuesday morning, said PowerOutage.us, with some cuts also reported in Louisiana and Arkansas. Many current and future medical students at Johns Hopkins University found out on Monday that their tuition will soon be free. Michael Bloomberg, the former New York mayor and business leader, has given $1 billion to cover tuition for students whose parents earn less than $300,000 a year. Those whose parents bring in less than $175,000 will also have their living expenses paid. The move affects around 2/3 of current and prospective medical students at Johns Hopkins, which is based in Maryland. These are your headlines. I'm Felicia Rankin-Zollins.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
When you have a sports or fitness-related injury, trust the expertise of the HSA's Sports and Exercise Medicine Clinic to get you back in the game. Our internationally trained and certified physicians specialize in sports traumatology, sports medicine, pain management, and orthopedic surgery. For treatment of common injuries such as tendonitis, arthritis, tennis elbow, rotator cuff, or knee tears, schedule a consultation with the Sports and Exercise Medicine Clinic at Smith Road Medical Center by calling 949-8600 or visit hsa.ky for more information.
At Kirk Market, it's so easy to eat well and find healthy options. With their fresh veggies from local farmers, hormone-free chicken, local seafood, and grass-fed meats, Kirk Market has delicious, quality food at the best prices. And you must check out their fresh salad bar, hot bar, and med bar for daily healthy options on the go. Their delicious dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients such as prime meats and organic veggies. Eating great is important to me. That's why Kirk Market is my store. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and shop happy.
Born September 25th, 1947 at Watering Place, Cayman Brac, Royce Adolphus Dilbert was the firstborn son of Helen and Grace Dilbert, née Tibbets. Like many of the men of his time, he spent many years at sea. During his breaks from sea life, Mr. Dilbert employed his diverse skill sets. He worked at Alfred Scott's block factory as a mechanic with Eston Scott, and his uncle Bergman Dilbert performed dynamite blasting in Cayman Brac with the late Reverend Lee King, as well as worked at MRCU in Grand Cayman. He was also an entrepreneur selling fruits, cars, and tires, and painted and repaired vehicles. His mechanical skills proved immeasurable when in 1979, working in the Campeche Bank oil field, Mexico, his ship was chartered by Halliburton to supply material to cap the exploratory well which blew out in Mexico's Bay of Campeche. In 1981, he retired from sea and took employment with the Cayman Brac Power and Light Company as chief engineer, where he remained until his retirement in December of 2018.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. It is open line as we invite you to share your thoughts. 949-8037, 949-610-990 or WhatsApp 925-3261. Hey, thanks for calling as we take this next one. Welcome.
Mr. Sterling.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, pretty good, thankful.
All right, that's a good start.
Yes, and I did got some real good mango jam too. Some mango jam from my cousin, Mango.
No. See, if you really want to enjoy, you got some good mango jam. Mango.
I got some real good mango.
I'll forgive you because I think you lived north of here at some point for some extended period. All right. So you had some good mangoes. Okay. And I made some good mango jam.
Mango jam.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness. Yes.
Good for a good laugh.
Yeah, it was delicious. I had to hide the bottle. I was going into it too often.
Yeah, well, don't hide it from yourself,
I am hiding it from myself because I'm trying to watch my sugar level. I got to do a blood work soon, so I had to hide that bottle all the way to the back of the refrigerator.
But you see, you know where it is, so.
Yeah,
right.
But once I don't have to go and dig behind anything for it, that's good.
I hear you.
And once I don't have the one thing to go to it is okay. Yes.
Out of sight, out of mind. Okay.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Ellen and I been going down to the it's called Joanna Clark to primary school now.
Mm-hmm.
These last couple of days, taking my grandson down there to having some summer classes for them.
Yeah.
And Sterling getting in there and getting out, it is very dangerous. As much as they have done to our roads, it seems like that is not in the making to try to make that a more safer in and out of that school compound. They normally have the flashing during school time, but school is closed now, but they're having summer school now, but the lights are not on. And when you're going to come from the east side to turn in there, you don't know what is coming from, what do we call that, the south side, coming up to Savannah to go to Foster's.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like a little bend there, but it's in that bend, you really can't see what is coming. And 10 to 1, you could have some crazy not coming, flying, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, somebody look into that exit and entrance into that school, seriously.
Right. So let me then ask, and thanks for drawing that to our attention, because sometimes we see something and we see it so often that somehow we just ignore it. So let me then ask in that, until the NRA or the requisite people get whatever alignment that may be possible, achieve in the immediate future right now, given that summer school is on and activities, can I ask two things? Is this during the summer something that as the children move and the parents move back and forth on and off the campus, is this something that's going to happen just in the morning and then at some time throughout the day, or is this a frequent movement of children, parents and cars in another compound throughout the day for the summer, to your knowledge?
It is during the school year.
Right.
It's the whole school year, going and coming in and out, dropping off and picking up.
But for the summer, right, for this, next few weeks until, this thing for the summer ends, is it that they'll just go to the campus in the morning at some point,
yes,
and then in the afternoon? It's a very...
Drop off. You drop off at 8:45 and pick back up. Well, yesterday was 1:45, today will be 3 o'clock because they're going on a field trip.
Okay.
So every day is a little different in the afternoon picking up, but it's the same time every morning.
Right.
And it's grandparents and parents dropping off their children, and to be picked back up. It's not no bus service that the kids are using during the summer schooling. Yeah.
All right. So with that in mind, then I wonder, and because we keep saying Cayman is a relatively small place, even the 100,000 people or however many it is, they're small in terms of the physical size. I wonder how inconvenient and how possible, if not, it would be for the school through its administration and staff in collaboration with the community police, the policing area, to have some sort of physical presence during that time, just for now, as an interim measure, in the morning, in the afternoon, in order to ensure that there is not just, safe flow of traffic in and out, but it doesn't get to a space where people are injuring themselves trying to get around it. Is that something that you think, from your observation, could help? Could that be achieved?
Well, during the school year, they got the lights flashing, and sometimes they have the police cars up and so forth.
Right.
But now that it's just the regular summer school going on for a couple of weeks, I haven't seen any officer there these last 2 days.
Right.
Let me say it's not a bus drop-off situation.
Right. No, we recognize that during the school year that happens, but since you say the lights are not flashed and it's in the summer, this is just something that they're doing for the next, however long during the summer.
Another couple of weeks, yeah.
Is it possible that for the summer that they do something that make it safer and, ensure, because nobody wants an accident. I mean, nobody wants,
I think, Sterling, it needs to be looked in permanently.
Agree.
Something needs some heading coming from town, and you need some more heading coming from east, because then that Shamrock Road now is a real highway.
Well, it seems all roads are these days for some reason.
All roads, even the side roads across my place have planned like a bunch of what.
Yeah.
But the thing with it, that means street there to be coming in and out to a school. I didn't realize how dangerous it was until I went in there a couple of times before, but just going there these last 2 days, it just dawned on me like, this is really serious drop off and pick up, because you don't always come around the bend there just before you get to the 7th Adventist school. Yeah. Something needs to be drastically done in that area, coming from east and coming from town.
I agree with you.
For that school.
Right. And we hear sometimes from people, even during the normal school year, that the lights are flashing, that not all of the drivers are attentive or respectful or even abiding by those flashing lights and the posted speed. Some probably don't even know what it is or see it. So with that in mind, I was wondering, just for the summer, if it's something that could be considered. Now, that means another ask of either the police or the community, but it might be a good opportunity on a limited basis to, as you said, try something to see if it would work, especially. And in saying that, I'm thinking of other jurisdictions that have parents, teachers, police, and other volunteers very, very present at the school, in the school zone, being very visible. But I'm hesitating to ask people to volunteer because some people don't have that respect for that person, and perhaps for now it may be need of a police officer in uniform with a vehicle with the lights on to draw attention to it, so that that driver who may be inclined to be inconsiderate or just simply ignore other people present may not be so willing to do so if it's a posted police car with the lights on with a police officer in uniform. If that means the safety, that's probably a good use of resources as opposed to anything else, right?
Yeah. They had some meeting at the town hall some time ago, and I think I could be wrong to a degree, but I think Turner and several different people was down there, and they were talking about the sports road there, and right there by the beach, the sports dock where the officers used to go and park up there and used to do a lot of catching of people. Now they got some started kind of like divide that now and got bush growing up there, trees growing up there now. So as far as I can remember, I remember Officer asking that they need it, and I believe they were talking about that one particular spot, that those trees there is really not in a good spot for them to really pick up speed like they used to do years ago. So from my understanding, that they was going to work on it to see if they could get some sort of clearance there.
Mm-hmm.
Officers could pick up these cars that are coming up or going down at the speed, because that road, Sterling, it is a highway.
Right.
This morning I had to go into town, and when I came back up that direction, let me tell you something. One car was going down, and that was just swaying, and it was almost coming up off the ground. She would have flying like a bat of the devil, man. What these people are thinking, and Sterling, you cannot see any police officers.
Right. So let me
police officers.
Yeah. Let me share two things from our listeners. One person writes, so I was heading town yesterday and I slowed down in the Savannah area near the school, but one car just blew me down and overtook me in the school zone. So there is that. Another listener shares, during the summer, is it possible for, the summer schools and the like to be, somewhere else outside the school zones, because,
They got everything right there, Sterling. They got the board on the wall. They got the chairs. They got everything at the school. So why have the after school, the summer school in another building? It's 6 and half of the next.
Right. I wonder though, to what extent that flashing, I think it's 15 miles an hour when it's flashing, right?
Yes.
I wonder to what extent people actually see that, know what it means, and drive the 15 miles or less, or they just don't know what it is, or just don't care and just keep going right through.
No, the 9.9 just don't care. They're in a hurry, going nowhere.
All right.
There was a lady always say, you have an appointment for 9 o'clock and expect to leave home at 9 and get there at 9. That doesn't work.
Right.
And you're gonna kill somebody to get to your 9 o'clock appointment.
Well, I wonder too, to what extent slowing down in the school zones for that stretch where those lights are flashing, how much of an added delay does that add to people's sort of journey?
That 15 miles and thing going in the morning to school.
Yeah.
I don't think that interferes too much, Sterling, believe me, because sometimes by the time they come in doing 45 and got to come down to 15, I've already gone to the school zone, like.
Yeah.
They're crazy at the Sterling.
Right.
But Sterling, it needs to be looked into seriously. Put our joke aside. It's a serious entrance in and out there, really.
Well, I have one other listener who has also shared that, and that's near the countryside Savannah Church, right? That's what we're talking about, right?
The St. Adventist Church, yes.
Okay. So one listener. Yeah. Help me to make sure I get this correct, and I hope I have the area correct. This listener shares that coming from east, going into town, there is an ability to make a right turn into the post office, right?
Right, yeah.
But if you're coming from town going east, even though the opening is still there, there's a posted no right turn, but people still do that to go behind the restaurant there in the back. Is there an opening there?
There's a little opening there, and we were using that, and they put a sign there now telling you that you can't go through that little opening no more. But people still going through it. But you can, from coming from town, yeah.
So coming from east,
town,
you can make the right. That's okay. Going to the post office. But if you're coming from town, there's a posted no right turn. You're not supposed to do it, but people are doing it.
Towards Wendy's, yes,
right.
Wendy's and the Panton office.
Right. So this person writes and says that even with a posted no right turn, people are ignoring the the traffic signs.
True. I see it.
So if you have that, and I'm just going to say we, as the road users, either are not, if we are ignoring it, if we don't know what it means, or if we know what it means and disregarding it, that says a lot about what we are and have become.
Yes, that's right, because Sterling, they didn't have that there. They just put that up there a few months now, because when I was coming from town, I would go through it to pick up my grandchildren from down at the church, down back Wendy's. But they put that sign there, and that meant that you're not supposed to turn there no more. So I would have to go up to the gas station or go up to the road that goes to Pedro Castle to get in the back of where this church is going
Right.
behind.
But that's
them.
only a couple of feet up the road, right? It's not that far away.
Yeah, exactly. But they're always in a hurry, and they're looking at the gas that they're going to burn to get there. They want to save that $2 gas.
No, it's not even $2 gas. But anyway, okay, I hear you. We have another call, but I don't want to rush you. Anything else you want to share?
I have something else I want to talk. Give me 3 minutes.
Go right ahead.
We was talking about the boardwalk yesterday, and saying probably could cost about $20 million to rebuild that with the cost of living right now and the expense and everything. We just had our first hurricane for the season. We gave out plywood, and we're asking people to put their plywood up. Some people do have no way to put no plywood. So Sterling, that $20 million or probably $25 million that they're going to spend to rebuild that boardwalk down in South Sound, that Proctor has no benefit and use to a degree. They could take that money and take people and build and do hurricane shelters for their homes that they will not have to keep getting this plywood every year to give people, and when they give it to them the following year, they know where the plywood is because they never had nowhere to store it. So they got to go back and get new plywood again when this hurricane season comes again. We don't know what the rest of the season is going to bring, right? So that money that we got to take and put into that boardwalk, sit down, draw it up, and say, you know what? We're going to give every district home, the most vulnerable people, hurricane shelters, go up and measure up and take that money by hurricane shelters. And I don't mean those that you got to go and get somebody to come and put them in every time season is coming. Get the ones you can just pull across and bam. A little 10-year-old child can stand on a ladder and pull them across and say, Granny, I closed the hurricane shelter. You understand? That's where I'm going to need to go and say that boardwalk. And the lunch at the school. Sterling, those kids are getting good food at the schools. The food that I see them having down there in White Sox coming today with the delivery truck, they are well taken care of when it comes to food at these schools. Up at John Grace, it's the same thing. I was up there just before school closed. A young man had a nice breakfast, fruit, pancakes, the syrup, and sausage. It had looked like turkey bacon. And you know what that young man did with that plate of food, Sterling? Throw it in the garbage. I could not believe it. Nobody never tell me this. I saw it to my own eyes. I had to go to the main office, and I saw that young man didn't eat that breakfast. The food at the schools are being wasted. So I'm just asking parents, if the kids do not want this food at school, tell them not to take it. Tell them do not take it. Leave it there. It is a disgrace to see how the food is being wasted in the schools, and they are getting good food. One thing with Georgetown Primary, I don't like how they're serving you outside.
Right.
They're doing their breakfast outside when the kids come off the buses. I don't like that. That don't look good at all. I should be inside of a building. That don't look good. But anyhow, I want to talk about two more things. You go get that individual on the line, and I'll probably call you back.
Okay. Thanks.
All right.
Appreciate it very much. You're most welcome.
Good.
Let's take this next call. Thanks for the patience for holding on. Welcome. Yes, hello?
Yeah, afternoon, Mr. Sterling.
How are you today?
Doing good.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing, man.
Thank you.
Yes, he's a merciful, gracious God. I'll tell you, man. I appreciate he hasn't smite me, you know.
You know, I really do love listening to conversations pertaining on traffic because that's involved with almost 100% of our daily lives. And when I say almost 100%, because if you can't get on the road and make it to where you're going, that's it. That's like termination. You know, like if you can't survive on our roads here in Cayman, you're just like, you were meant to be. I don't know. We have a really big problem with our traffic, and I see it on a daily because we have traffic officers on the road. I don't believe enough, and they're not doing their traffic jobs that they're supposed to be doing. when you have school zones, for example, like what she was just now talking about, you would want to know that you respect the traffic law. And as a traffic officer, you would want to make sure that that is enforced, right? I'm not saying that they are a force, they're a service, but the service is to make sure that the traffic is good, including the speed limit being handled right. And I mean going on the highway and expecting someone going 45 to go exactly 40. I mean, like West Bay Road, for example, we got a lot of drivers on West Bay Road, and I'd like to be the first one to warn people about this, that are driving in the center lane to cut traffic.
Wow.
They're driving. They're not just traveling. They're driving on this middle lane to cut traffic as if they were exempt from the use of the middle lane the proper way. And this is a proud thing. It goes between the people that don't own good cars to the people that are owning these expensive cars. So it goes for the whole board. I've seen it several times on West Bay Road. And you talk about police sitting down waiting for somebody to drive past them and not see them, is to me is a crime. It should be a crime. They should be making sure that every 5 minutes that you're on West Bay Road is cycled every 5 minutes. I would believe, like, just seeing them driving, you know, like when you go to the United States, they have the highway patrol, and the highway patrol make sure that if they see the speed limit going at least 10 miles an hour over the speed limit, they're going to go and stand up in the front of the traffic and just slow down. It's not about pulling over anybody.
It's about safely
about
moving people.
Sure that everybody comply with the road code.
Yeah. I mean, and you'll see in some states where there's, you know, that section of road where a lot of, what they call those freighters coming through. You see a greater police presence in some cases, right? Again, safer, you know, uses of roads. So, yeah. Maybe
this is where those lights come in. Those lights come in handy because we can see them. It deters the intentions of you committing this crime that you can be possibly doing on a daily basis.
Yeah. But I'm hoping that we will.
It's better to make a safer community, and I would prefer to see a safer community than a community full of enforcement. And when I say enforcement, like pulling over people left, right, and center for no good reason.
Yeah.
I don't like to sound ignorant, but we should be a responsible community and act like a mature adults.
Yeah. No, I think you're sharing a view that many of us have. It would be better that we have a society where people subscribe to a highest standard and set of values, and the policing apparatus can be utilized in a better way, as opposed to, think of it, if we drive safe and sensible on the roads, that might, increase the safety of the roads. But there are many of us who, well, I don't know the kindest words to use, still will be offensive.
Sometimes there's no kind words, sir, because mankind doesn't come with too much kindness, in my eyes.
Yeah, well, we certainly have found a place now where it's really questionable as to what we have. But anyway, you chat, we'll take the break, we'll take more calls. But before we do, what else you want to share with us?
No, I just would like to give you other callers another chance to talk. I just wanted to say what I had to say, because really and truly when it comes into the traffic, I really do care about it. I've lost several friends.
Yeah.
I've lost several friends. I've already learned. I'm learning, and I'm still learning, because it is not stopping.
Something has to be, yeah, you're right, man. And you know what, I have a few thoughts, but people might find that might be a little bit harsh, but maybe that's what we need.
Really emotional, because I got a lot of good friends that I've lost on the road.
Yeah, man. I feel it. I reflect on it. And,
yeah.
All right. Thanks very much, right?
All right.
My friend, is that a break? Okay, we do have that scheduled 1/2 break, and if our callers are able to, please stay online. We'll join you after.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Summer's heating up, and so are the good times. Whether you are out on the water, enjoying the beach, or gathering with colleagues for an office bash, make it a feast to remember with Subway. From assorted sandwich platters to mouth-watering cookies, our catering menu has something for everyone. Perfect for groups of 5 or more. For food that's fresh, fast, and perfect for any occasion, choose Subway Catering. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com. Start your day in the know. Don't miss a beat. Radio Cayman's 7 a.m. news keeps you informed every Monday through Saturday at 7 a.m. Brought to you by Cayman National, proudly serving the Cayman Islands since 1974.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us, and thank you for your thoughts, your comments. We have a couple of calls. Thanks for your patience and holding on as we take the next. Hey, welcome.
Good afternoon, Captain.
Hey, great to hear from you. I trust all is well.
Yeah, thank God. All is well, and a lot to give thanks for, man.
Indeed, man, indeed. And the more we...
So blessed, you know.
Yes, that is it. The more we recognize that, man. Thank you, too, for taking time to call.
Yeah. I might try to get some information from you if you don't mind and if you know about it.
Uh-huh.
I'm hearing through the grapevine that the Cayman Islands government is helping other countries that went through the hurricane financially.
Yeah, I'm hearing it, and the gentleman that called first, did allude to that as well. And I have not seen any official press release, but that doesn't mean that if one came out and I missed it, but I'll double check. What I would be hopeful, if that is the case, that the government would say, listen, we're going to give this to this place, and set it out very directly what they're giving, to whom they're giving, when they're giving it, and whether it's cash on or personnel on loan or equipment. It'll be good, not just for transparency, but for accountability,
Okay. Point taken.
Mm-hmm.
The second question would be is that I understand that the increase in your electrical bills are because CUC are expanding their capacity in the island. I don't know whether it's more generators or what they're doing. You familiar with that sort of
Yeah, CUC did send a press release. Trying now to find the latest one, and I would I'd intended to print it so I didn't have to read it from here, but in an attempt to save paper. So let me find it and I read it. And it says, the CUC offsets the rate adjustment with fuel efficiency improvements was a press release that was sent out on the 5th of July at 4:39 p.m. from their external communications manager, right? So we'll look at that, but go ahead and share with us, and then I'll refer to that as well.
Okay. If that is the true position, that they're doing that because of expansion. And then I might add, I'm not sure about this, that it is said that once the company has established more capacity, we will then get some sort of reduction from the money that we are now paying to CUC. Now, this mightn't be exactly 100%, but has some merits to it.
Yeah, we'll I'll read it. It's not a very long press release. I'll read it, and it's in. Well, go ahead. I'll try not to add any sort of editorial commentary to it. But you talk and let us listen.
Okay. With the cost of living, and then we have extra money to give these other places that's been damaged by the hurricane. I mean, I don't know how many people realize it, but the good book says that charity begins at home. The situation in Cayman now, with the Cayman people here, the working class people, does not warrant a situation that we can be giving out money to other countries that has been hit, and then you're going to get now got an increase in your utility bills. What are we supposed to do in a situation like this? And then I understand again that all of the MLAs has like a $5,000 a month, which is like $60,000 a year increase. What in the hell is going on in this little island? What's really happening here?
Well,
I mean, do we have a government that is accountable, or they just do as they see fit?
That shouldn't be a rhetorical question, but I think it is for some. And the challenge is, as much as we will castigate politicians or make disparaging comments and the like, again, I would, the greatest respect and love, ask, where are we? Like you, as an informed, not just voter but consumer, where are we in this equation? Asking questions, not just demanding answers, but trying to step up and offer credible, viable, timely solutions. Because the politicians, at the end of the day, maybe doing their best, maybe they can know better do, but they shouldn't be the be all and end all, right?
Doing their best and can know better do. I coming up front and say, if that's their best, that is not good enough, my friend. That is far from being what we were expecting.
Right.
And what I'm saying about Caymanians that are whispering through the grapevine, they are so frustrated, but I don't know what they're so intimidated about that they're afraid to speak out and say to the government of the day, what you're doing, this is not good enough. This is not acceptable. It needs accountability.
Yeah.
And like that young man, one of your first callers talk about, where was the representatives? My representative would be in West Bay North. I haven't seen anybody coming around to say, well, what are you doing? All I can figure to myself, when you see a hurricane pass through here of any magnitude, every man is for himself and God is for us all. But, it really, Sterling, it's really disgusting to see what's really taking place here. All this money, it will be coming very fast for the rich and famous. All right? For the rich and famous will be in this island. If you're not rich, then I don't know what's going to happen. You better find someplace else to go or what you're going to do. But it's not good what's happening here. Overall, situation is not nice.
Yeah. Well, I hear you, and this is hopefully, I don't know if I said it clearly, this is why I share that people like you, like Mr. Christian early, and many others who call, share their perspective. We need more people, as you said, with the courage to ask questions, to step up, and whether the politicians are to blame, whether the politicians are trying their best, whatever it is, it's not just them alone. It takes all of us, right? So sometimes, what's that prayer? God move them or move me, right? So I appreciate what you said, man. Okay.
But one thing I also want to say.
Yes, sir.
We're not just talking about the politicians.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the government as a whole.
Right.
Be careful now. That hurricane came through here on, was it Tuesday, Wednesday time?
Yeah, well, Wednesday, I'll be Thursday morning, and it'll be hours of the Thursday morning, through to mid-morning Thursday, I guess. Yeah, so Thursday, yeah.
Okay. Hear me out clearly, man.
Yes, sir.
Whatever your choice in life of your sexual preference, if you want to be straight, homosexual, that is your priority, that's your business. But for the authorities to give permission, when we just had an all clear from that hurricane to have some kind of pride march, I gotta touch myself sometimes to see if it's real. Could not the government say, you can just do what you want, not what you want to do, but there's no call for all of this about going in the street. To me, I have my shortcoming, but that is such a slap for me and others to see in the face of the Almighty to get out in the street and show what you're doing. If you want to be that, keep it to yourself. Nobody is really harassing you or slaughtering you or murdering you. But you got to come out and show your pride. Is that the pride? No, I think that's the most disgusting, embarrassing thing that I ever seen.
There are those who would agree with you and those will be, have a little offended, but I respect your view to share what you want. I hear you, man. All right.
All I will say is this, right?
Yes, sir.
Give them permission and block off roads and all that. It tells you what kind of leadership we have in this country, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much for listening to me and have yourself a pleasant evening. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for sharing, as you do. Thank you. All right, let's take another call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hey, good afternoon to you, Sterling.
And to you, man. How are you?
I'm well, thank God. How you doing?
Oh, man. I hope people don't think that I don't have any problems, but boy, I'm glad that they are manageable. And you know what? I got the health, the strength, the presence of mind, the support, the tenacity, the determination. I mean, all the gifting to make it work, man. So I'm good.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
What you say, Bobo? What you say?
That's so important because there are so many. I mean, you saying that and I saying that perhaps somewhat in jest, even though we're serious.
Yeah.
There are so many that don't have that extended support.
Exactly, man.
So crucial. I called about one particular thing, but I guess been waiting for a while. I just want to say two quick things. In regards to the last call, the only thing I'll say in regards to that parade is I would hope that was approved long before the storm was coming, rather than something that was done immediately as the storm passed.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there for me.
CUC's press release when they did share, just quickly, it said, obviously we had planned to send this up before, but with the storm coming and yada yada yada,
So. Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. All right, let's not focus there.
Okay.
Well, the other thing that I didn't call about was about the traffic. The only thing is I heard the lady that calls often, we know her name.
Mm-hmm.
She says that the police are not out, so I have to remind myself that I think she lives in the Eastern District, right, or in going that direction rather than west.
Right. Okay.
Because I only say that because me living in West Bay, I have seen the police out in force along West Bay Road, along 7 Mile Beach. They live in the 7 Mile Beach corridor, so they make sure. I don't know if that's easy pickings for them because the old West Bay Road is now 25 miles an hour and they're allowed, I guess, legally up to 10 over. And so it's easy pickings for them and kudos for them because that's.
All right, not to interrupt you. There's I don't know how you would describe that, but something happening while you. Paul, how would you describe that? Yeah. So try it again. Keep chatting. I just want you to know that it sounded a little bit robotic, he says.
Oh, I said, it sounded robotic. Okay. I said,
there's a beeping, like that. Okay.
You're not getting me clear, is what you're saying?
Not clear at all.
Oh, wow. Let's see. 1 second for me. I'm certain.
Okay. Interesting, huh?
You still can't get me? Are you still not hearing me?
We're hearing you, but it's going to be a significant distraction for many, probably even on the radio if they're driving.
What about now?
Seem, as my friend says, seem.
Okay. Should I hang up and call back?
Would you? Yeah. Because I don't want you to lose your point. Paul, would you take that break?
Because it was a point that I was making
Yeah.
to you just before the hurricane.
Okay, don't disconnect. You steer it there. We can take the break and we can fix this. Right? Don't disconnect, okay?
No problem.
Okay. To our listeners, you hold tight.
It's game time, Subway fans. We're upping our sub game with the Subway Series menu, an all-star lineup of 6 delicious recipes. Just order by name or number and we'll do the rest. Whether you're catching a quick lunch or just need a tasty victory, the Subway Series menu is coming in clutch. Subway Series, easy to order, hard to resist. Try it today, only at Subway. Eat fresh.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Discover your dream home with Cayman National's home loan. Get up to 95% financing, repayment up to 40 years, and just a 0.5% commitment fee. Your interest rate? Depending on your risk factors, it'll be fixed or variable. Plus, you get a pre-approved credit card. This is a limited time offer. Dial 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
The mission of the National Conservation Council and the Department of Environment is to ensure our islands consider responsible use of our natural resources while preserving our native species and habitats for future generations. Learn more at conservation.ky.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And to the callers on hold, to your patience now. We were just speaking to that last caller. Hey, welcome back. Do we have you much clearer now, sir?
I hope so. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you for letting us work with you, and thanks to the Paul and the team behind for, getting the gremlins out of the system. But you were about to make a point, so sorry to interject, okay?
Seems like some gremlins are around, yeah.
And really, don't feed the gremlins, don't give them water.
Crazy. He was telling me that I sounded like a robot.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, what I was saying to you, Sterling, I don't remember what the last one was now, but let me get to the point that I called originally.
Yes, please.
Oh, yeah, the police. I was saying that the police, I'm not sure where the lady lives, but the police are in huge numbers along the old 7 Mile Beach Road.
Mm-hmm.
So we see them there. We see them on the Esther Tibbet Highway, where they're, hiding and pulling people over. So maybe they need to go where there's been a lot of accidents, because that is not to say that there aren't accidents happening on the Old West Bay Road, but I don't think they're on the level that we're seeing up on Shamrock. Maybe that's where they need to be hiding out and not picking the ease of picking somebody going over a 25-mile zone that they used to drive 40 on.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that doesn't need policing, just a suggestion, because I see them quite often on that road. So when she's saying she's not seeing them, I see them quite often.
Okay, well, thank you for acknowledging that. Okay, yes.
Yeah. So, why I called those, Sterling, if you recall, I called just before you had the press conference, that big press conference, and I got cut off and I didn't get to share the thoughts. But I think it's worth, because it won't leave me, the thought won't leave me. So I'm trying to find a good way to say this, and I'm going to take my time with it.
Okay.
I don't know how I only refer to it as the National Hurricane Committee because that's what I recall it as. I know we have some other stuff now, NOHC or something.
NEOC?
NEOC, that's what it is.
Uh-huh.
That's what it is.
Okay.
I recall that times past when the NHC was managing, quote unquote, the whole response or the lead up to our preparedness for a system such as a hurricane, they pretty much took charge. And maybe it was because of people like Mr. Ebanks, Mr. Don Ebanks of blessed memory, and Mr. Kirkland Nixon of blessed memory, and those kind of guys that were on there, and the positions that they held, as it were, that perhaps we took their word as gospel, and so their actions on those committees, in the case of, for example, Mr. Donny, he was deputy governor. It was a done deal, and we followed it to the T. And I found that in the lead up to this thing, let me just get straight to it. I don't particularly needed to have Her Excellency the Governor, even the Premier, on there leading up to the storm. We don't need to have like those people, if you don't mind, no disrespect. Okay, so the disclaimer is the Premier is the Premier, and Her Excellency is Her Excellency, and we know who they are, we know their position, and they are allowed to call whatever meetings they want to. So we don't take that from them. But honestly, it's what you hear even the politicians coming on talking about the lumber and all that. Truth is, they should be coordinating among themselves and coordinating among their own committees and stuff. Is there an opportunity to perhaps allow a thing here or there? Yes. I don't know whether that was the radio station calling them or whether they were calling in saying, hey, we want to have 10 minutes to be able to toot our own horns to tell you must come down here to get plywood. Honestly, in my view, I think that if we have a national emergency committee, and I heard that they were activated, then that's all that we should be hearing from. We should be hearing from the director. We should be hearing from, in terms of everything leading up to the storm. And if you ask me, and maybe I'm even speaking for those people and they don't even know it, maybe in the manuals, they are the ones that are supposed to be giving out the information and coming on and directing things. And so by default, this committee, because of the very positions that are there, they are making those decisions, and we should just follow them. We don't need to have those. We don't need to have the Premier and them talking about, the plans that we have and the league and the whole nine and going all over the place. We really don't, Sterling, in my view. Once the committee is activated, that committee, once they say they are activated, everything in regards to the hurricane response and the preparedness for it should come from there. If in their manual, so I think it complicates things. For example, this storm was a good example. Because of the sheer size, it was, Category 5 in some instances approaching us, but then it had that tight, compact thing. I'm sure there were a lot of decisions that were hanging in the balance, such as, for example, whether we evacuate all the visitors. And I didn't even know that there was a choice for that. Like they were saying, some visitors chose to stay and some visitors, I don't know if we should revisit some of that, because what I recall from the only storm that hit us direct at that level was that the committee made a decision as they realized that it was just going around south of Jamaica instead of going through it initially as it was supposed to go, or north of it, as I recall. They declared a state of emergency, which put a number of things in play. It allowed for the police to make certain decisions, the chief of police. But,
this is in Cayman now, the state of emergency you're talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about leading up to Ivan.
Oh, Ivan, yeah, okay.
I'm sorry. Governor Dinwiddie declared a state of emergency days ahead.
Right.
When we saw that was happening, and that put in place a number of things, including the evacuation flights and stuff. And I'm, concerned if you recall during Ivan, even then, it wasn't so much the visitors, because I think we'd gotten a huge amount of visitors off at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But I know a lot of the expatriate workers, and like I said, we're probably about 25,000 people more on the island. A lot of the expat workers, and came on, some of them, but they left the island. You can recall there were hundreds of cars that were abandoned at the airport post the hurricane. That was people just trying to get out because of the sheer destruction,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I'm concerned that that there seems to be a disjointedness going on there, and a power struggle in that regard.
Fair enough.
And I don't think it's meant.
Okay, so sorry to interrupt. That thing that we tried to fix just now, that's robotic, that's come back into your line again, all right?
Okay.
Is that sufficient because we don't, anyway, maybe we can pick it up there, but I want to comment on what you shared, but with that talking, sound and thing, that doesn't work, right? Anything else you might want to try to say?
No, that's it.
Okay, perfect.
Take over for now then.
Okay, I'll comment on it if you wish, but let's take this.
Please do.
All right. Have a good one. Can we take another call, you think, before the news? No? Quick call before the news. All right. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hello, Dwayne.
Hey, how are you?
Fine, thanks to you.
Oh, excellent. Thank you for sharing and for your patience for holding on, okay?
I hope all is well.
Indeed it is.
I need to compliment the callers.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the Christian, the one from Kevin Bragg.
Right. James Albert Christian.
In fact, all the callers, including Mr. Orman, the last caller, and Dwayne, just before Dwayne came on, or the caller just gone off.
Right.
What they're saying is 100% right, and especially Mr. Orman. What upset me most of all regarding the comments that Mr. Orman made, he made himself clear who he was regarding the aftermath after the hurricane with the gay parade. What got me so upset? We had a press briefing on Friday afternoon. We had the premier and all their colleagues there, all the government there doing press briefing, and nobody informed the public that this press briefing was taking place. And like Mr. Orman said, it was a slap in the face to the people, the Caymanian people, or let's say the Christian community, because nowhere it seemed like nowhere many left. So our Christian foundation, the Cayman has been striving on. God has spared us one more time from the storm for us to get a slap in the face with a gay parade. Now, we know that is their choice, and I'm not going to tell nobody to choose what they want to do, but I do not appreciate them coming that they got to make it mandatory to have it in our face, like that's such a big thing, because God condemned it, so it's not right. And I know they're gonna come back behind. They're gonna say about the March for Jesus. This is a Christian foundation, and yes, we should be marching for him. So I don't want to hear about we had the March for Jesus and the police blocked off the road. That's what we were built on. That's what God has strived us on all as well. And we need to be more thankful. And the our MPs that are supposed to be representatives should do a better job protecting us from those fields. And I know, like I said, the governor is representing the UK. In my opinion, as far as I'm concerned, she can take it all back to the UK. And if she won't go back with it, that's fine with me too. Because we don't need that here. Because all we're doing is creating another Sodom and Gomorrah. Cayman must be one of the last place on earth now that they haven't finished destroying all the way, and they're working very hard at destroying us. So, and it's like they're gonna show it up in our face like we don't value anything. But I would like to tell those people that think that they are doing a good thing for Cayman, what they should do is pick up and go back where they come from and carry it back with them, because we don't need it here. Because they're not coming here to better our lives. They came to better their lives. And if that's what they got to come to throw in our face, they can carry it back with them. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing that. And as we go into the news break, just two things to the caller on the queue. If you can, just stay on. We'll get you after. And secondly, to the gentleman that called prior to this last caller, listener says, well said, caller. All right, let's pause. When we come back, more open line.
We are Radio Cayman,
covering Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and Grand Cayman.
1 in a million. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market.
With your latest headlines, I'm Felicia Rankins-Ollins. Effective Thursday, August 1st of 2024, the CBC Cargo Processing Office at 42 Owen Roberts Drive will be closed to the public on Saturdays. To accommodate this change going forward, the Cargo Processing Office will stay open 1 hour later during the week, making the new office hours Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. CBC officers will continue to process declarations and assist with clearances until 7 p.m. weekdays. In international news, Sir Keir Starmer has praised the new parliament as the most diverse in terms of race and gender, quote, this country has ever seen, in his first speech to the Commons as Prime Minister of England. He vowed to, quote, put an end to a politics that has too often seemed self-serving and replace it with the politics of service. Other party leaders also gave speeches ahead of the swearing-in of MPs. Rishi Sunak repeated his apology to Conservative MPs who were not re-elected last week and pledged to take up the role of opposition professionally, effectively, and humbly. Harvey Weinstein is being investigated for additional violent sexual assaults months after a previous conviction in New York was overturned, a court in Manhattan has heard. Nicole Blumberg, an assistant district attorney, told Tuesday's hearing that the alleged assaults fall within the statute of limitations and could be charged as crimes. The disgraced film mogul is already facing a retrial after his 2020 conviction for sexual assault and rape was overturned in April on the basis that it was unfair. These are your headlines. I'm Felicia Rankins-Ollins.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
Cayman Islands, your input can shape our future. Plan Cayman needs your input on the updated planning statement to create a sustainable community for everyone. Help shape Cayman's future by participating in public consultations with the Central Planning Authority and the Ministries for Planning and Sustainability. Together, we can build a thriving Cayman. For details and to find the meeting closest to you, visit plancayman.ky. Your voice matters. Let's plan Cayman together.
Radio Cayman Talk Today continues.
Hey, welcome back, and thank you very much for joining us. It is open line as we take this next call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hi, Sterling.
Hey, welcome back. How are you?
Good.
Thanks for your patience too, okay?
Yeah, well, listen to Mr. Dwayne there. He had some, his name is Dwayne too, right?
Dwayne. He used to be, I think, a very, very, engaged public servant as well. You can still hear in him a strong commitment to country.
Yeah, he always brings some good points across. And what he was saying, he was hitting everything on nail. Hitting everything on nail. And sometimes, people just need to stand there in their places and let other people do their work.
Right.
But you know how it is here. Everybody want to be chief in no Indians. But Mr. Orman was talking about government giving other countries money. Not money. Helping out. I'm gonna use the word money. Helping other countries when they have
providing assistance,
storms and so forth. But that's been going on for some time. Sterling, Cayman is always helping out these Caribbean countries, and we don't know nothing about it. Because I remember the two governments what is it? One government before this one, they was sending enough money like quarterly to different Caribbean islands, and one of the members asked them, "Why are you sending enough money to those islands when the people here in such dire need?" He said, just leave it alone. That was his words to the individual. Just leave it alone.
But didn't we
help in the Caribbean?
didn't we during the Falklands War donate to the UK $500 million, £500 million or whatever it was, a whole lot of money?
Yeah, we always help in those Caribbean islands, but they don't bring and make us know. They won't tell us anything that they're doing, and I think that we need accountability.
Yeah.
So we can say that we've done something good, or some can say it's good and some can say it's bad.
Right.
And if we can save some lives elsewhere, there's nothing wrong with that. But talk to us.
Yeah, help where we can help, right? I think we should.
And I know charter starts at home too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But and we have not. I'm not even Ivan to the position that we had a fully depending, I would say, on the rest of the world to a degree, because I remember when I went into to Miami, and the immigration guy said to me, "Why are you guys out there refusing the help from America?" I say, "Well, we're a very proud island, and we appreciate what y'all be able to offer. But we're a very proud island, and I'm quite sure we will come back in due time." That's all I could say to that officer at the immigration window when he said to me, But I didn't call you for that, Sterling.
Okay.
And the parade, the Pride Parade, like everybody saying, is to which his own. But the fact of the matter is, the Lord just brought us out of a hurricane. They could have postponed that and not even have it period for this year, if that's the case, knowing that the Lord just spared us to another hurricane, and we're going to slap that in God's face so many hours after the hurricane, which I thought was very, very disrespectful to the island. And, no disrespect to Ms. Look on her, but she's a true Christian. She talks about God, she prays and everything, and she's so forth and so forth. No disrespect to her. She had the power to say, this is not going to go on Saturday. We just came out of a hurricane, and God spared all our lives. We're still all here. Nobody died or whatever the case may be. No one's in the hospital. We got to postpone this. But you see, Sterling, when your hands are in so many things, it's hard to go and try to pull out one of your fingers to bring down that Pride Parade that it was having that day, because then you got other ones to say, and it has to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Sterling, we are retiring people here in the island at the age of 60. And 65, and the private sectors are doing 60. I think government is doing 65. Now, Sterling, when these people retire at the age of 60, they're still pretty healthy. And 99.9% of the time they got to fall on NAU. I don't know, our MPs go to the House every so many months to pass all kind of budget here and budget there and laws here and laws there. Why can't they come out and say, we need these people to work until they feel they can't work no more? Because there's nowhere for these guys to go at the age of 60, some of them, to get a job that they're going to be comfortable in, like what they're in already. So to keep them working, it needs to be done, because Sterling, when they let you go at 60, they are doing a work permit. And you are thrown on the shelf, and you got to be chasing the assessment door to survive in your own country, because your pension that you got coming in can't meet your bills and your needs and wants. So it's very sad. And after this little hurricane that we had here, we got a lot of trucks on the road dragging, trees and limbs and so forth. And they are dropping them left, right, and center. You want to tell me the government had the power just the other day with this hurricane to say this and say that, and everybody practically abide by what the government said. So the government got power, but they're only using the power to their convenience. And to their extent, when they are comfortable with using it, they got the power. Now they are dragging stuff all from one end of the island to the next. Well, you make sure that stuff is cut up properly, put on your back of your truck, and covered with a piece of tarpaulin, that when you're driving the main roads or any roads, nothing is dropped to be any hindrance to anyone who's behind those cars or those trucks and the lawn service guys and so forth and so forth. You know, but the government is looking to the 60 age of retirement, especially in the private sector, and even government 65. You got to still good health of bill of health. Why can't you work? Where you going to go?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have the money. So I wish they'd look into it seriously.
Yeah. Well, it is. Yeah. Thanks, Al. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
You're most welcome. All right. Bye. Let's take this next call. Hey, welcome.
Hey, Sterling.
Welcome back, man. All right.
Am I clear?
Did you get all clear? And that's kidding you. You sound better now, yes.
Yeah, man. I changed my SIM.
Yeah?
That's crazy. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, went to the eSIM instead. But
I just changed my shirt, but if you change your SIM, that's good, man.
Listen, I just wanted, because I was ended abruptly, and I just wanted to finish the thought and kind of flesh it just a tad bit more. First of all, also, let me just say thank you all for the compliments. It's appreciated. I share my thoughts because I feel convicted about them in many instances. So, yeah, that's just where that.
Yeah.
It's not about the hoopla or the likes. I certainly. In fact, you went spell my name all out correctly and all that. You wanted to make sure that it was a I was just like, all right, Sterling.
Yeah. It's interesting.
What I wanted to say to you is the broader point, I suppose, and try to make it as succinct as possible is that when we're having something that could potentially be a disaster like that, we have to be very coordinated, and we are in many respects. But I noticed this came out heavily with this storm, and I can imagine it only hampers the decision makers, especially if it's coming heavily from the politicians. You know, hey, we need to get time, or we need to go on, or we need to do this. And truly, people then are frantic and frightened, and then they're listening to the radio for directions and that sort of thing, and then we're getting, you know, our executive leaders. Quite frankly, I can imagine Her Excellency and the Premier were extremely tired because they were doing these communication circuits, and quite frankly, I don't see why that was necessary. I you know, having the post government press briefing was great, and maybe if they wanted to do something leading up, saying, hey, we're going to default to the activation committee and follow them and whatever, and then they're getting the direction that's kind of how it used to be. And them coming on, wasting time as far as I'm concerned, and no disrespect to them. And it's not that some of the things that they shared wasn't necessary. But some of it, a great deal of it, was things that we didn't really need to be discussing then, because then it brings out questions, you know, like you had the radio listeners, the radio announcers, you guys that are in the studios and stuff, I guess just defaulting, asking questions that, you know, hey, you know, what do you do here? Or I'm kind of thinking, no, man, this has to be a little different, because you're talking about a potential disaster.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see how, in my view, I deduce or I got from that entire experience of trying to tune in every so often whenever I would hear that sort of thing on. And you know, I appreciate Radio Cayman, and I share it within my network.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's credible, and I think that it does an amazing service for this country, and certainly in areas like that, it is the default for the government in terms of information sharing, and so it's not the time to be politicking. And I'm not saying that they were doing that, but if they were, and only God knows their hearts, then it's not the time to be doing it. And it came across in some instances in that manner, like, can I get on and share that I'm sharing plywood, when truly the plywood came from government, which is why I shared with my family. Go to your representative, get your plywood, and you don't owe them a vote because you're getting that plywood, because that plywood came from government for all Caymanians.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't need to hear those kind of things. We need to have that activation committee being very focused, making very stringent and straightforward and fluid decisions in regards to the safety of the Caymanian people, and making and sharing that sort of information. Today, we're going to be doing this. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing this. This is what we're expecting. This is what we're doing. Prepare. Cut to this. That's what we need to hear. Honestly, it was just...
Yeah. I hear you, right? If I can... flip that coin over, though. Do you think that in the absence of the politicians doing that, let's just start with the politicians.
Sure.
Do you think that the general populace, but the voters in particular, would have been critical? Oh, where are the politicians? They're out there saying this.
No.
Okay.
The Caymanians, no. All right. That's a heavy one. That's a broad one. So no, broadly for most people, I think that would understand.
Okay.
For other people who, that's where the politician can use their network in their communities.
Okay.
And be touching bases with those people.
Right.
We've already had that in place to start with. We're not getting outside the hurricane zone anytime soon.
Okay.
So this isn't new. So in a time of seeing a Category 5 coming towards us, we need to have an activation committee that is completely focused on that and all the ramifications.
Yeah. Because as I listen to you, right? Sorry, as I listen.
An example in Ivan is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so we should know by now some of the things that are critical and pertinent. We don't need to be, what you call it, redoing it. We don't need to draw another sketchboard. We need to build upon that,
Right.
In my view.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I mean, and maybe from what you're sharing, we can infer that this is another, learning opportunity. And yes, we give a reassurance and comfort from whether it's the political directorate, the appointed, or otherwise. But maybe some of us just want, the facts and actions, and we don't want the rhetoric and the other stuff. So I appreciate what you shared, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just leave this with you. Remember what I said, though. Remember what I shared, Sterling, at the beginning, that because the Premier is the Premier and Her Excellency is Her Excellency, and even the ministers, they have the prerogative to go on whenever they want. So we're not taking that away. And we're not saying that they can't come on and kind of build that calm, but they need to default to the people who I didn't hear the acting deputy governor at all, except for a statement that came on post the system, and I think, as far as I know, the activation committee, he is kind of the decision maker for all of the subcommittees and that sort of thing. He wasn't on there, as I recall. Those are the people, is what I'm saying. If they truly, if their obligations as being a part of that committee is respected by our politicians, and then they should have been the ones that are on, in my view.
Yeah. Well, you certainly put much to consider from it. Hopefully there'll be questions that will be asked and answered, all right?
Thanks, man.
You're most welcome. All right. Couple of calls to take. Final break. If you're patient, we'll join you after.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Find your dream car with a Cayman National Vehicle Loan. Enjoy 100% financing, up to 8-year repayment, and a 7% fixed interest rate for the first 5 years. For eco-friendly cars, we'll waive your commitment fee. This only applies to new vehicles. Call 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drporterkman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us. And as we take this next call, hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sterling. How are you?
Very thankful. How about yourself?
Good. I want to change this. Well, I know you don't have a subject or a topic, but this morning I heard Mrs. Mayor Lawrence on the other Mile Road show, which I know we all have freedom of speech, so I'm going to say where I heard her.
Sure, of course.
She was talking about the Bordentown Cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
I had to pull off the road and listen because I've spoken to so many people about the pond and the swamp that the people from Bordentown and the eastern, like Breakers and Frank Song are being buried in. I mean, it is a shame. I cross there 2 times a day, and every time I look into that cemetery, it's in a pond, and I wonder if this is why we, the people, are getting to being buried our loved ones into the pond and the swamp. I've always said if they couldn't find another place to put a cemetery in, you know, you drive around, there's so many other places that they could get to put the Bordentown Cemetery in. This is a new one. And I'm really appalled at what I'm seeing. I mean, every day there's the rain that we had, even before the heavy rain, that cemetery is into a pond. I mean, we buried our loved ones and we expect to have them buried in a proper place. You know, it's time that we grassroots Caymanians find a proper cemetery. I spoke to last week a lady that was a senior, and I was saying to her, can't Bordentown find a place to put their loved ones and then they're buried? I mean, there's a piece of property on the land side. It's just across from the cemetery in Bordentown, across from the police station. That piece of property has been for sale for quite a while. I don't know why other people can't see that we have to find a proper cemetery for our people, because you know what? They are our loved ones, and they are the people that made this island, and we should at least have a proper cemetery to build or to bury our people in. And I mean, if anyone in the government or any of the MLAs that's up in the Bordentown area drive across, they have to look in and see that that cemetery is into a pond and a swamp. And I mean, even before, I spoke to a young lady from Breakers, and she told me before they buried her mother, they had to go and pump the water out to put someone. So do you realize what is happening now? I mean, come on. We need to get something that are decent. They're taking all of the beach land, selling to the foreign people to put condos and apartments on. We should be telling them, listen, you can't build there. Or we should at least say, well, okay, if they're going to find land for these people, we should at least have a piece of property that is suitable to bury our people on. And I'm going to leave this to anyone that want to come on and say anything else. But first of all, we need to get rid of that spot. No one should not have to put their loved ones into a pond or a swamp. And if any Bordentown MLAs want to drive across and see what I'm talking about, they can take a drive now because water is still there. And I thank you for listening. We got to make an appeal because we need a new cemetery, or we need to get rid of that or do something. And it's no way getting rid because there's a pond behind it. So thank you for listening.
And thank you too, Mom. Thank you for reminding us of the respect that we should have, you know. As we take this next call, hey, welcome. Thanks for calling. On the WhatsApp, hey, thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. How are you doing?
Excellent. How are you?
Good, man. Just want to make 2 quick points. I know you're almost done. Both of my points indirectly lead to the cemeteries, but I'm not calling about that, but I understand what the lady is saying. Two things I want to just mention: retirement and roads. Because in recent years, it seems like our roads have been behaving very badly. Our roads are allowing people to have all types of speeding and accidents and drinking. Our roads are allowing people to have all types of Mardi Gras parties and parades and all types of things. And I'm saying that tongue in cheek because it's not the roads to blame. It's the people. I wish we were talking about correcting or curbing the road accidents and deaths, because we can't blame the roads no more than we can blame the roads for, the soca culture or any other cultures. That's the new Cayman. That's what we wanted, so that's what we get. But we can, of course, emphasize and highlight our own cultures. We can put some restrictions. The tourists on 7 Mile Beach don't necessarily want to see all of our body parts, especially with their children. So we can put curbs in. We can have enforcement to prevent fights and things like that. Those aren't part of Cayman culture. But the road stuff is something that is important. But we need to look at traffic primarily, speeding, traffic calming measures at night, increase visibility of enforcement, police, and other things to try to control and help prevent these road accidents. I'll leave you to respond if you like. But the other thing I wanted to mention about retirement, as I said, the retirement age is a touchy thing because, as most people know, as the other lady said, you retire 65, you still have to work. The cost of living is so high. It should be at a point where if you retire, you should have the option to stay on the job, especially at a reduced capacity. Give other young people a chance to do the job that you have mastered and maybe mentor them, but step down and do their job, maybe do a middle management or a middle level job, and allow the younger people to step up. But you don't necessarily have to be sent home. I don't think at 60, 65, sometimes 70 people are still going strong. And of course, also, if you're still working, you have benefits such as health insurance, which are important as you get older. And you probably still you might have a dependent or two that still depends on that health coverage as well. So there's a big trickle down to the retirement issue that I don't think is being looked at. And of course, the big factor in all of it is the cost of living. So that has to be considered. And especially with people having had the opportunity to have a couple of different drawdowns from their pension funds, specifically private sector. And again, there's from high school till now, we've been saying it, there's no financial literacy, financial education, budgeting, planning for the future being taught. So a lot of people think they have X amount to retire on, and they're finding out, oops, I might have a quarter of that, half of that. And then they're not savvy as to how to even manage what they do have. So, there's a big, we're at a near crisis in terms of that category of the population, and we've always grown up with pride and taken care of ourselves. Cayman was never a handout welfare situation state. So most older people that are, accepting help, they don't want to necessarily from their heart, I don't think. They would prefer if they were independent, but they have no choice. So the retirement issue, I think it would be good if you had a panel or a couple of people to discuss that one day. And the road safety and the road calming type of topic as well.
Yeah. Well, as you shared, needs to be a concerted effort for all of us. I mean, we're seeing egregious behavior on the roads, not just inconsiderate, but very dangerous. And people are acting as if they're the only road user, with a care or concern for everybody else, right? So I appreciate what you're sharing, man.
All right. Well, hopefully we can talk about it another time. All right.
Well,
thank you.
You want to be one part of that panel discussion, man, you let me know.
Well, I'll just be the pilot. Like, I just lit the fire, so you run with it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. We'll do just
all right,
that.
Take care.
All right. I'm told we can take one final call. Let's do that. Thank you so much for joining us.
Mr. Moderator, good afternoon to you, sir.
Oh, hey, sometimes they say the first shall be the last, and the last shall be the first, and the last voice sometimes may be the first to be remembered or quick to be discarded. But you are that today, my friend.
Save the best for last. It's 2:30, sir. Your show is about to end.
For today, though. But
just for today.
The battle continues.
Quincy Brown, thank you for taking my call. And I oftentimes identify myself in that I believe if a person has something to say, they should be bold enough to say their name instead of hiding behind anonymity. But be that as it may, sometimes my voice gives me away anyway because it is a recognizable voice. Good afternoon to you. I want to say that you've had a good show today. I've listened. An excellent caliber of callers calling in. I'm always impressed with Radio Cayman's listenership. You have a very, very smart listenership. And those who would be bold enough to pick the phone up and call in always make salient points. So kudos, congratulations to all those who called in this afternoon, always making good points. I'll start by saying I'm wondering if the director of the Department of Vehicle Licensing and Drivers Licensing Renewals perhaps could make an announcement, a PSA on Radio Cayman, letting us know when the card printing machine will be working again. I have been reliably informed that those who would be renewing driver's licenses today on all locations across Grand Cayman and the one in Cayman Brac, you cannot get your picture printed today. So just a friendly reminder, I want to thank the friendly staff, the courteous staff at the Department of Vehicle Licensing Renewal and the driver's license renewal. Thank you for the work that you do. Just let us know, the public know, when we can come by to get our licenses because the machine is currently down. I'd like to thank Mr. Moses Kirkernel and Liz Walton and Cayman Brac for their assistance in very recent times. And I should also like to thank Mr. Wayne Panton and his wife Jane Panton for keeping my head above water, because it looks to me, Mr. Moderator, that I have reached the age of 60 or 65. I must be in retirement. You apply for jobs in the private sector, you apply for jobs in government, you prepare your resume, you get your work letter, you get no response. You try to follow up with a call. Long story in short, I say to myself, you know what, Quincy, God has blessed you with intellect. He's blessed you with talent. Apply for your trade and business license. If the government does not want to hire you for various reasons, if the private sector don't want to hire you, God has given you enough talent to butter your bread. Apply for your trade and business license. And I recently got that granted. Thank you again to government. And I'm available offering my services for a fee. So I'm working for myself. It's slow now. I'm hoping and praying that work will become available. I would like to thank the current interim government, because the government that we have now, we will not have in April or May of 2025 when we have the next election. This is an interim government. It's kind of like when we had the PNA, the People's National Alliance. They did a very good job in preparing the people. I should like to thank the Premier and all ministers of government, the governor, and for keeping us abreast. Electioneering has started. We're, 10 months away from the next general election? At least we're a year away from the next general election, a year or less. I want to encourage people, though, to just be kind to one another. Road courtesy in the office, on the construction site, in the supermarkets. Let us be kind to one another and watch our words, because you don't know what a person going through. They might be contemplating putting a rope around their neck. So be gentle with your words, encourage people, and let us keep our Christian faith. The thing is this now. Whenever I tell people, sorry, I cannot come to your church, it's for this reason. I'm in good standing with the membership of the church that I'm a part of. I go to church, I've repented, reconciled, whatever. I'm in good standing with God and the membership of my church. But if I'm to visit another church, Presbyterian, Jehovah's Witness, Anglican, Adventist, whatever, because the light of God that's seen within me, glory to God, they all of a sudden want me to get baptized. There's so many churches in this community, or should I say ecclesial communities, that want me to become a member. I'm already a member of a church, the body of Christ. I'll close by saying it is very important for us to listen to the older people. I want to know more about that oil tanker that ran ashore in Cayman Brac. Not playing the blame game, because it's still under investigation. As a former journalist, I'm asking my questions as well behind the scenes. I will not call the nationality of the pilot because I will be seen then as nationality picking or making trouble. That's not what this call is about. However, we have elderly gentlemen with the experience, now retired, by the name of Captain Harold Banks and Captain Edley Martin, who, if called upon, can assist. Why is it? And weather was not a factor. I've been reliably informed. Accidents can happen, mishaps can happen, but we are the Cayman Islands, a maritime heritage. Look here, we can't train our younger people up to be pilots, or they're not interested, or that batch I was sent off to London the other day, not come back here. Listen, we don't want to have any oil tanker disasters out there. It's not hard. I mean, I couldn't do it. I'm not a trained pilot. So you wouldn't call me to try and dock a ship. Absolutely not. But call on the expertise of those who got the experience. And I close by saying this, Mr. Moderator. You talk about the blatant disrespect to Caymanians in our own country. Well, we're alive and we're being disrespected. You know what's going to happen? Money wins. My opinion only. My opinion only. So I'm not saying this is a fact. It is my opinion, of which I'm entitled to. If we, the living Caymanians, are being disrespected in our own country of birth as it is now, you think they're going to respect their people? When the money man walk by the graveyard, oh, honey, that's beautiful prime property because most of our graveyards are close to the beach. The day will come. I'm not a soothsayer, but I predict the day will come when cemeteries will be for sale. Condos can be built there too. Playing devil's advocate. I'm Quincy Brown. Thanks for letting me share. God bless us all.
May His mercy endure and His grace be upon us. But thank you. As we close out, maybe 3 quick points from our listeners. One says, excellent points by all the contributors today, especially with regards to the press briefings that were not necessary, that were not seen as necessary since the new government. It says, if the public prepares from the 1st of June, there will not be a need to panic or for politics to apply wood. There's need to be more accountability to be taken by the people and the politicians not being held responsible for their daily lifestyles. Okay, and some churches are run by families, though. So true. And then someone writes in relation to the comments in the graveyard, the same applies for the one on Willow Farrington Drive in West Bay in terms of it being in low-lying, swampy areas. Well, it is an interesting time. Public service announcement on behalf of Mr. Kent Ebanks, the former Director of Planning, who is facilitating a series of meetings every Monday evening from 7 to 9 p.m., 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Church of God Chapel Hall on Town Hall Road in relation to the citizen feedback on the proposed, Plan Cayman. So it's open to the public, whether you live in West Bay or not, and those are meetings will try to remind the public, hopefully, they're similarly being prepared in the other districts. Well, we invite you to have a fantastic rest of this Tuesday. I said yesterday that I thought it was, a day felt like Thursday for some reason. Just shows you how fast for some of us, things are transpiring, maybe how much our brains are racing, but a sobering reminder of the need to embrace, the present. Make ourselves, physically present and accounted for. Make our actions as positive and productive, and being appreciative, as Quincy Brown just shared, that there are people for whom we don't know what they're feeling and thinking, not just in that moment, but maybe for an extended period. And the way we speak to them, look at them, do or don't do, could negatively affect them. So that kindness, that sincerity, that sense of humanity, are we extending it? And there are many, you look at them. It's appalling, the way they puff their chest and, stick their head in the air and their noses. I don't know, boy. Sometimes you have to wonder what people are thinking and feeling and believing that, they are all this and then some. Well, as I say that, I will try to check my own spirit to make sure that my approach, my intent, my endeavors as best as I can be, and I'm grateful for those who help to keep me not just in check but on track. I'll ask that we do as Mr. Art shares, be your brother's keeper. Extend that hand to help, the person across the table, next door, down the hall, across the street, or even, in the next country. That love that we extend to one another will indeed not only come back to us, but to those that mean and matter most to us. but it also make today that much better. Join me tomorrow morning for the record. Be a part of that engaging discussion. Come back for a talk today. We have invited and rescheduled the good company of former parliamentarian Mr. Ezra Miller. Always good to chat with him. Here's a time to, learn from him, question him, challenge him, benefit from what he has to share. Until tomorrow, my friends, be blessed.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949